Hello, today I will give you a tour of my pfSense installation of the software part. So I've logged into the IP address. This is my internal network. It is also connected to the internet, and I have few services and various tools set up. So let's dive in, log into this. This is the dashboard of the pfSense installation. There are various widgets here, as you can see, system information. I've installed this pfSense on a CPU, Lenovo CPU. I'll show this the hardware part of it in a separate video. So it's an Core i3 processor of 4th generation, along with 4 GB of RAM, 2 cores with 4 threads. And this is the release date. The uptime is, this system is up from last 29 days and 16 hours. And the other things are there, the temperature and the memory usage out of 4 GB. And I just have a SSD of 128 GB, which works absolutely fine for me. On the right side you can see interfaces. Actually one of my internet is down, but I have two internet, both 200 Mbps each, which goes out to the LAN. I have installed extra network cards in the system, which you will see in the hardware part. I have set up an OpenVPN, which you can see here as this interface. This is statistics, so approximately I have used almost half TB in last 1 month, because I have plenty of services installed. I have all my home data, internet bypassing to this, as well as I have been hosting many websites and services in e-commerce and RDPs and backup services on this particular network. So this is the traffic overall. This is the IP address. Many people will comment, why are you showing your IP address? You can try bypassing it. I have these services here which is running. This is just to monitor the bandwidth, the DHCP services, the gateway monitoring daemon, and this is an HAProxy. It's a reverse proxy load balancer, and this is also a traffic monitor. An OpenVPN client I have, and it's a logger and a DNS resolver. So let's go on. I'll show you. I have created a route. We'll go to routing, we'll go to gateway groups. So I have two internet connection. One is from a provider known as DEN, and the one is provided from known as Reliance Jio. So I've set up it in such a way that my tier 1, no, actually it's not Jio, it's Airtel. I've changed it, yeah. So this DHCP one, I've set it as tier 1, and the DEN one, which is PPPoE protocol, it's as tier 2, which means primary connection is this DHCP one, and if it fails, it will automatically move on to the triple PoE protocol. And this is the VPN port which I have created. As you can see in interfaces, I have WAN, I have WAN 2, I have LAN, and an OpenVPN interface. I've set up the OpenVPN interface. I have created. So basically, my pfSense installation, or you can say the device, is a client to an OpenVPN server which I have set on a DigitalOcean droplet. What it does is, if you ping my, or if you send any request to my droplet, DigitalOcean droplet, it redirects those to this particular client, and this particular client, which is a pfSense installation, redistributes it to my network, so I can access anything on my network from anywhere on the world. I keep changing the IP addresses for SEO reasons of my website, and this is the current one which I have been using, and this is my VPN installation. Then I have a few services here. The first one is the Acme certificates. So basically all the websites which I host on this particular network has to have a SSL certificate. So this Acme certificates services help me to get those SSL certificate inside, which basically these servers are inside my pfSense. So it requires some authentication services. There are plenty of options. If you go and check, there are plenty of options which you can use to do the authentication. I am using DigitalOcean here, so I use this DNS DigitalOcean option, and then in the DigitalOcean dashboard, I can create an API key, put it here, and then if I add that particular website on my DigitalOcean DNS server, it authenticates from here and give me a SSL certificate which I can use to create a secure connection. So basically I'm hosting various websites here. You can see there are various certificates here, and I host a plenty of websites. Now I have the certificates, I have the servers on my network. Now how will pfSense know where to redirect which request? So I use basically two things. The first one is a reverse proxy HA, which is an HAProxy service. So basically if I have some rules set up. For this you need a front end and back ends. I have back ends, all the servers listed here. Types and servers, image proxy server, Nextcloud server, web server 2, web server 1 for different use cases. And if someone say tries to open a rule something as CPS Butaro, it redirects it to web server 1. Similarly, all the subdomains are also listed here, and it redirects it to the backend, different backends. Other than that, I use this NAT option here, by which I can redirect a request in particular ports. So for example, this is a system on this network and it has an IP address of 192.168.20.18. So suppose I want to access this particular system using RDP from anywhere outside this network. So I'll go to NAT, I'll select the RDP protocol, and I'll set the destination IP address as 192.168.20.18, and say the incoming port I will set it as 909. So whenever I go to any system, put the IP address of my OpenVPN server followed by the port 909, that request will directly land to this system and I can access this RDP anywhere in the world. I will be making a video especially on the hardware, how I have set up the hardware, and more videos on how to set up this pfSense and the reverse proxy and the OpenVPN server in a separate video. So follow for upcoming videos.